Namaste. I hope you remember all that I said last Saturday. The Patanjali's idea of Kaivalyam or oneness, experiencing oneness, Kevalasya Bhavam. And we have discussed three ways of understanding that: the Sankhyan, the Vedantic, and the Buddhist. The Sankhyan way of understanding oneness is total withdrawal from the world. The world is a problem. I have nothing to do with the world. So you move into a cave and sit there and, and then waste your life. This precious gift. And imagine that you are radiating waves and energies and all that. So that's a kind of escapism from the world, this beautiful world. So we are not for that. And the Buddhist way of understanding Kaivalya is seeing that the world and the self are empty. So that leads to a kind of cynicism, nihilism. That also leads to this idea that world is worthless. So that's what I said, that is nihilistic transcendent or oneness. Transcendent means oneness. The earlier Sankhyan was exclusivist transcendence. Oneness. I am one. I am not disturbed by anything. I don't want to be disturbed. And the Vedantic way of oneness is inclusive one. Everything is included in your awareness. Everything is seen as a play in your consciousness. That is the kind of oneness we are promoting. So there we are comfortable with the difference, dissent, variety. Everything will be an opportunity for you to explore and express your potential. I repeat it again. That is the kind of oneness we are comfortable with. So that's the Shankara's interpretation of oneness. So there is the other, there are different things, but these are all expressions of the same consciousness. That is understand. So you become a loving, caring, sharing person. You become a playful person. That's the word we have. The other one was an escapist. Second one was a cynical person. But Vedantin are a playful person. And he can embrace the whole universe, integrate it into his consciousness. The world doesn't stand out there as a threatening entity. So that's what we have seen last time. So we all are Vedantic, we are playful people. We play with the world. The world is an arena for you, a playground, not a battleground. It's a playground. So you play your role. You're in a team, you have to play your role, isn't it? Everybody cannot be the captain. Everybody cannot be the bowler. Like that. So today, we are taking you into a different part of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. So I have titled this talk as The Law of Causation. Everything is understood in terms of cause and effect, isn't it? An effect is a phenomenon produced by certain set of causes. So that's how we understand. What is the cause of this? Where does it come from? Who did it? When did it happen? So every effect, to understand itself, understand an effect or an outcome or an experience in life, you always go to the cause. So understanding the cause-effect relationship is very important in understanding life. So, the law of causation governs the world of appearances. If it is a physical entity, there are certain physical laws based on which the cause-effect relationship is explained or understood. For example, an apple falls from the tree. Then you are trying to see what is the cause. Why did the apple fall down? Why didn't it go up or fly sideways? It can go any which way. Why only it falls down? And if you are sitting, beneath the tree, then the apple will fall on your nose, and then you can become a Newton, isn't it? So there, the relationship in the material world is governed by physical laws of gravity, electromagnetic principles, or big energy, strong energy, all that. Strong force, weak force, etc. So there are certain laws which govern the cause-effect relationship. When it comes to the mind, we have seen mind is a separate entity. Mind is not just a physical entity. Physical entity, you can cut and paste and then manage and all that. Mind is something different. We have told you, mind is a state of love, hate, desire, frustration, ambition, aspiration, jealousy. So when you see an apple, jealousy is not in the apple. Apple is not jealous of anybody. Apple doesn't have a mind, developed mind at least. So therefore, in Vedanta or Patanjali Yoga Sutras, we accept these three streams, three entities: consciousness, mind and matter. We have already seen that. You cannot reduce them into one another. They have their own existence, and things have to be understood from that standpoint. So when it comes to the mind, how does the law of causation work? That's what we are trying to see. When it comes to the mind, how does the law of causation work? When it comes to consciousness, it goes beyond the law of causation. Time, space, and causation is not applicable to consciousness. Desha kalavadibhyam nirmuktam nityamuktam. Consciousness is free from the limitations of time, space, and causation. That is the source of everything. It has to be understood. Law of causation, time, space works only in the case of matter and mind. So, consciousness, matter, then in between mediating the mind. So, how does the law of causation work in the case of mind? That's what we are going to explore in this discussion. How does it, law of causation work? Because mind also is part of the material world, the subtle matter. So mind has to be under this law. So that's what we are going to explore in this talk. So first of all, let us understand what is the law of causation. Let us have a general understanding of that. So to understand the law of causation, there are 4 principles governing the law of causation. The first principle is every effect is flowing from a cause. There is no effect without a cause. Every phenomena is a product of set of causes. That is the first principle. We all agree that. As a scientist or a technocrat or a casual observer, you accept that because you always look for a cause. Who, what, why, when, etc. How. As a causation hunting is the nature of human beings. So, first principle of law of causation is every effect must have a cause. What is an effect? Something which happens in time and place. So that's the first principle. And the second principle of causation is the effect is nothing but cause in a different form. The effect is nothing but the cause in a different form. Meaning the cause flows into the effect. That's the second principle. So you don't have to look somewhere else for the cause. It is already there in the effect. If you are suffering from, let us say, lung problem, what was the cause? You are a heavy smoker. And where is the effect? Difficulty of breathing. So, seeing that, you know what is the cause. What was the cause? So, the cause flows into the effect. That's the second principle. Isn't it? And the third principle is take away the cause from the effect. If you can, which is difficult, which is not possible. Remove the cause from the effect, then there will be no effect. Because cause flows into the effect, remove the cause, and there is no effect. And the fourth principle is, these are all very important in dealing with the life, dealing with your mind. And the fourth principle is, remove the effect and still the cause remains. Remove the effect, still the cause remains. So I am giving you 4 principles of causation. First is, there is no effect without a cause. There is no pot without clay. There is no sun without the parents. There is no tree without the seeds. There is no wave without the water. I am giving you a lot of examples. Isn't it? So, there is no effect without the cause. And the second principle, we have seen, cause flows into the effect. Isn't it? The seed flows into the tree. The father flows into the son. The egg and the sperm together create the first cell. Similarly, the clay flows into the pot. Isn't it? Without the clay, there is no pot. Where is the clay now? It is the pot. Now, take away the clay, where is the pot? There is no pot. Take away the clay, then there is no pot. Take away the seed, there is no tree. Because tree is a product of the seed. Take away the father or the parent, there is no child. So take away the cause, there is no effect. Take away the effect, still the cause remains. Still the cause remains. And these are all great insights in understanding life. Still the cause remains. Suppose you had no son, still you remain there. The parents remain, isn't it? There is no pot, still the clay remains. There is no wave, still the water remains. So these are the 4 basic principles that govern cause-effect relationship. In Sanskrit, we have this karya-karanayoho abhedaha. Cause and effect, there is no gap. Karya-karanayoho abhedaha. There is no gap. You can say between the father and the son there is a gap, but still there is a unity between the father and the son. Of course, you can see that unity very clearly between the water and the wave, between the clay and the pot. That unity is visible. Otherwise, the parent and the children, the unity is there. There is a biological affinity between them. They occupy the same space, emotional space. So, if these 4 principles are clear to you, and the third one was, take away the cause, take away the water, there is no wave. But take away the wave, then there is, water still remains, because wave comes and goes. So these are the 4 principles, we have to keep it in mind. So in Sanskrit we call it Karya Karanayoho Abhedaha. Karya means effect, Karana is cause. Then Karye Karana Drishti. You can see the cause and the effect. That is what we ask you sometimes. Who are your parents? In all interviews and all that. What is your mother's name, father's name, uncle's name? In India, which caste you belong? All this will reflect on your character. What is your education? Which college you attended? Oh, I am from Harvard. Great. Then you are towards, then you are a great man. Or Oxford, Harvard, kind of universities. So, your past reflect on your present. That's how you evaluate people, train them, fix them, reward them, promote them, all those things. So these four principles are very, very important, and understanding our mind. The mind also are governed by these rules. And then, so, this is called Satkaryavada. In Sanskrit, we call it Satkaryavada, meaning that world comes from something which is existing. Something which is existing manifests as the world. Some people say the world was created out of nothing. If you create the world out of nothing, the world will be nothing, isn't it? According to this principle. The world will be nothing. No, I experience the world. Of course, it is changing, but I experience that. If it is nothing, I would not experience it. I don't experience the barren woman's son. I don't experience a square circle. So therefore, the world is experienced, so it must have come from something. Like the wave comes from the water. So this is called Satkaryavadam. There are people who say world was created out of nothing. Even the Big Bang theory says, where did the Big Bang come from? Nothing. He came from nothing. He just exploded from nothing, exploded into existence from nothing. No. Even when the world goes back into big crunch, there is still the black holes are there. So you cannot say the world just came from nothing. According to this law, if it came from nothing, the world should be nothing. Should be cipher, zero. That is not the case. So therefore, Patanjali, this is called Satkaryavada. The other is Asatkaryavada. The world came from nothing. If the world came from nothing, the effect will be nothing. Please understand. And hence, Patanjali, now I am coming to Patanjali Sutras. Patanjali also subscribes to this view. The world must have come from. So you can relax. This is something like the theory of the conservation of matter. You can relax. Things may change, but still everything is the same. The more things change, the more they remain the same, isn't it? Omnia muttandor nihil and the rith. Everything changes, but nothing is lost. There's a Latin phrase. Omnia muttandor, everything changes. I hope I pronounced it properly. Everything changes, but nothing is lost. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Because the basic substance remain, the trigunas remain, the pradhana, the prakriti remain. Doesn't change at all. But when it comes to Vedanta, we give a little more, we push a little further, we push the envelope a little further. The prakriti is an expression of consciousness, that's it. That we do. But what Sankhya say, no, prakriti is independent, consciousness is independent. Where is the gap? What is there in the gap? That question will come. Who is keeping it separate? There will be a third entity there, isn't it? So that will lead to a situation of ad infinitum regress. So the Patanjali subscribes to this view. Things are modification, transformation of the basic substance. The basic substance can never be made into nothing. You cannot create out of nothing, nor can you reduce things into nothing. That gives you certain confidence. Everything is recycled. Everything transform means change its form. Forms change. But the essence doesn't change. It remains there. Your body may change. Your thoughts may change. But you as an essential entity remains. So therefore you are fearless now. Because freedom means fearlessness, isn't it? I may change my form, I may change my costume, I may change my thought, I may even change my identity. Now I am a samsari, now I am a yogi, I am a bogi, all these identities keep changing. I am a father, I am a son, and this, I am that. All these identities can change. These days I ask young people, what's your identity? I have a fluid identity. I am a fluid identity. So that I can pull out any identities at any time depending upon the situation. Fluid. Flowing identity. A dancing identity. Let's say plastic identity. Plasticity. I am not fixed myself. I am not boxed myself into your categories. You try to box me into categories, fix me and condemn me and control me. I refuse to do that. I don't want to announce myself who I am. I am still a work in progress, let us put it that way. So Patanjali believes in that whatever manifestations happen, everything is an evolution of the same stuff. The same stuff transforming into different forms, properties and qualities. That is what, according to Patanjali. So different dharmas, different avasthas, different properties, but these are all the same thing. But these are all hidden in the same thing, latent in the same. They all unfold. Like a seed unfolds, become a tree. So there is something which is fundamental, primary, which is called Prakriti or Pradhana, according to Sankhya. Consciousness, Brahman, according to Vedanta. I have to take you to these two. You have to do this shift from Sankhya to Vedanta, Vedanta to Sankhya. So Patanjali, there is a very interesting sutra in Patanjali. Jatyandara parinamaha prakriti apurad nimittam aprayojagam. 4th chapter, 2nd sutra. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, 4th chapter, 2nd sutra. It's a very interesting sutra, very insightful sutra. Patanjali says, Prakriti Jatyandara parinamaha. Jati means a species, or a foe, or a character, or an individual, or an object. They have got a particular form, character, dharma, avastha, and properties, gunas, isn't it? For example, water. Basically, water is H2O. The water can change its properties. It can become hot, cold, depending upon where it is. And also it can different forms, ice, water and vapor, clouds. So there are various avasthas, various properties. But ice, the water as dharmi means the essential water is only H2O. It can be the gutter water, then they can recycle it and drinking water. Isn't it? Same water, same H2O. They keep different forms. It can be ice, can be vapor, it can be water. So these objects, mind and objects undergo these changes continuously. So Patanjali says, Jatyandara parinamaha, the changes in the form and the property of objects, Prakriti apurada, it's a manifestation hidden. What was hidden in it? Manifest in time. It was all there. So don't say, I was surprised. I thought he was a good man. Now he is behaving like that. It was there in him. At the right time, at the right place, it manifests that. That's all what happens. It's all there. But if it is not there, it cannot manifest. So all that evolves was involved before. It was there already. So in that sense, the future is already in the past. It is really mind-boggling. The future, what is going to happen, was already in the past. The past appears for the future becomes the past, it goes cyclically. So Patanjali is a cyclical idea, philosophy, not a linear philosophy. Linear philosophy means continuous progress. Going on and on and on and on. That is not how the world functions. It may be as far as in a limited sphere of economics and politics, you can say, I have to gain 4% GDP growth every year, 4%, 6%, 7%, 8%, like that. But the time comes, the cycle come back. So nothing can go endlessly like that. It has to come back. One who has gone, he has to come back. One who has gone up has to come down. The sunset and the sunrise. Seasons change. The young become old become further young again. Chakravad vartada, it goes on and on like that. So therefore, if somebody has gone up, be assured he is going to come down. Somebody has gone down, be assured he will come up. Somebody is born and young, he has to become old and die. That's a law. Those who love you too much, they can hate you also. That's a law. Because if you don't listen to what they say, if you are not agreeing to whatever foolish thing they say, then they say, I have nothing to do with you, you are my enemy number one. If anybody is too much in love with you, be careful. They can be your bitter enemies later. Be ready for that, that's it. Enjoy it when it is available, but they become your enemy, enjoy that also. Because that's the law. The law, this functions cyclically. Because something which is latent become patent, then they again become latent. Goes under. This has to be understood. So prakriti apurada, whatever manifests is a result of whatever has been there. So the future is become in the past. The past is the future. It goes on and on like that. Chakravad, like a wheel. Upper hemisphere comes down and the lower hemisphere goes up. That's how the time moves, isn't it? As somebody defined, time is the gap between two events. It's essentially a mental phenomenon. Time is the gap between two events. Space is the gap between two things or two objects. That also is a mental phenomenon. Mental construct, constitution. We don't know exactly where time and space exist. What is its nature? We don't know. So this phenomena, things appear and disappear. So what is effect become cause, part of the cause. What is cause become effect. It goes on and on like that. So jatyantara parinamaha prakriti apurada. So don't get surprised. Somebody suddenly behaves like a devil. It was already in that person. The time has not come. You did not press him sufficiently, irritate him sufficiently. That is why he looked divine. But he has got the devilish nature also. That is how Srishti is, creation is. You cannot be always sattvic. Sometimes you have to express your tamas and rajas, otherwise things will not work. The drama will not go on, isn't it? You need a Ravana and Rama also, both. Both come from the same place, of course. course. So don't get surprised. Somebody is behaving in a way that unexpectedly or which is uncharacteristic of that person. No. People are fluid that way. So, Jatyandara Parinamaha Prakriti Apurad. And then Patanjali brings another interesting idea. Nimittam Aprayojagam. Prakritinam Varana Bedaha tu Kshetrigavata. Now, how does this manifestation happen? Nimitta is necessary. Nimitta means a context. A context, a catalyst, a trigger is necessary. But the trigger or the catalyst or the context has nothing to do with what is manifesting. It is only a trigger. It is only a context creation. And for that, he gives an example. It's like the farmer, how do they irrigate their land? How do they change the flow of the water? The water is stored and then they create channels. Several channels are there in a 1 acre land, 4 or 5 channels. So they block one channel and direct the water into another channel. There they open. So one channel is open, another channel is closed. So when they open one channel or the hindrance in one channel, the water flows automatically, isn't it? Gravity will take care. So the nimitta, the context, the situation or the trigger is only casual. It's not the reason why the water is flowing. Water is always ready to flow. Of course, nimitta is necessary, but that's not sufficient. If it is not there is no water, you may remove the barrier, but nothing to flow. If there is no water in the tank, you may turn the tap, nothing will flow. So these are only excuses, I should say. These are only some nimittas, but that is not the reason why the water is flowing. Water should be there, what's nature is to flow down. So you don't blame somebody, I am angry because of you. See, that's the value we gain from that. I am angry because of you. No, not because of me. You are ready to be angry. I have become an unhappy reason for that. That's it. Or unsuspecting reason. I didn't want to be that. I came to the crossfire. That's it. Your blood pressure is always high. That's why you are angry. Not because of me. I unfortunately reached there. Isn't it? So, the nimittam aprayojagam, nimitta, whatever situation, that's not the main reason why this is manifesting the way it's manifesting. This makes you very responsible now. I'll be coming to that later. This makes you a responsible person. You cannot blame your social condition or your economic situation, like a Marxian analysis. Human behavior is depending upon the economic situation or the Freudian analysis. Human behavior depends upon the childhood experiences because their parents did not, love them or whatnot. Or the Darwinian explanation. It's all, the genes and the random mutation and the natural selection. In all that, you are blaming the situation. You are not taking responsibility. You are not taking responsibility. But here you take responsibility. So according to Patanjali, you are responsible for your behavior. You have to be a master, not a victim. Victim of the environment or genetic structure or your family background or your economic condition and all that. That's playing victimhood. Patanjali says, stand up and take responsibility. You have the Purusharth. You have the power to organize yourself, whatever may be the situation. You are the master of your destiny. So for that, you must be Purusharth. You must seek the Purusha in you. At this point, we are seeking the Prakriti or the external objects. As long as your attention is toward the external object, you are a slave of the world. But if your purpose is to realize yourself, the Purusharth. Purusharth means Arthyade. You are seeking the Purusha. If your attention is inward, not simply outward, then you balance your life. So you have the Purusharth, you have to use that power. Of course, it can be misused, abused, and all that. So when your purpose in life is to realize yourself as you are interacting with the world, as you are moving forward, if you are also moving inward, as you are growing upward, also you are going deeper, then that is a complete life. Then everything becomes meaningful. So, so this makes you a very responsible person. You become the master of your life, your destiny. Your attitude changes. Like Bhagavad Gita says, Karmanye vadhigaraste ma bhaleshu kadachana ma karma phala vedurbu ma de sangosta dharmani. You have the right to choose your action, but you have enough power to change the environment. So the way you choose to respond to the environment, that is your master. Not in simply changing the environment. Because when you change the environment, some people will be happy, some people will be unhappy. Or today you are happy, tomorrow you will be unhappy with the same environment. Isn't it? Please think of that. So it is not changing the environment per se, though it is, whether you change it or not, it is going to change. What is more important is that how you choose to respond to the environment, which is within your power. And you can happily respond, you can unhappily respond, isn't it? You can respond for happiness to harvest happiness. Or you can respond in a way you spread the happiness. So one has to, Patanjali says, you have to take responsibility. Responsibility means what? Ability to respond. You have the ability to respond to situation. So that is the implication of when Patanjali says everything is a uncovering of already covered, manifestation of what is unmanifest, what is already there. And you have to understand that. What is already there actually, your nature, what is already there. Your nature is happiness, we have already seen that. Manifest that. But if you seek it outside, then you become a slave. If you express it, then you become a master. So Jadi Apurada. Now another sutra he says, Kramanyatve Kramanyatvam Parinamanyatve Heduhu. It's a technical word. Krama and Parina. All transformation are only a change in pattern or sequencing. If you sequence things in a different way, it appears as something different. The sequencing in the genes, if you change it, then you manifest something different. Everything is a pattern, shifting in patterns and sequences. How you organize, how you order things. Stuff is the same. How you order things. When we were school kids, on Independence Day, Indian Independence Day, all the children, some wear green, some white, some orange, and then they run around and they have got specific places. Then they stand there. It looks like a Indian national flag or an American national flag. Then after 10 minutes, they all go hither and thither and the flag is dissolved. Isn't it? all patterns. They're nothing else. Same trigunas in different patterns, combinations, they appear as different things. Otherwise, essentially, they are the same. So, kramanyatvam parinamanyatva. The parinama means these manifestations in different forms are all due to the sequencing of basic constituents. That's how what happened. Kramanyatvam parinamanyatva. Then, kshanapradyogi parinama. And parinama change means what? Kshanapradyogi. One moment replaced by another moment. One moment, not movement. One moment replaced by another moment. Meaning, one moment dying into another moment is parinamam, change. These are all Patanjali's insight. And then when you look back, then you say that, there is an order now. There's a sequence now. So sequence is understood when you look back into the past. A past event is looked at from the present event. Then you say there is a sequence, isn't it? That is why second, in the measurement of time, you use a second. Second means what? First thing has happened. Then the second thing. And from there you look at it. Then the second. This is how you understand the flow of change or parinam. So these are all very, very important in understanding the mind and memories and rebirth, etc. Because there are three things I want to discuss in this lecture. One is the law of causation. Second is the river of memories. So when these things keep changing, patterns keep changing, and the time and all that, they all leave a imprint in your mind. A stone is changing, stone also is changing because of the rain and the wind and the sun and all that. Stone changes, but doesn't leave any memory in the stone. But in your mind, a imprint is left. All these changes which happen in life leaves its imprint in the mind. Is it not? That's how mind play an important role. And that imprint is called memory. So as you become old and old, more and more memories. Your ability to be sensitive to the new situation decrease. You are not able to remember things. When I was a teenager, I could remember everything. Now I am not able to remember all that I see or read and all that. So a lot of memories are imprinted in the mind. Mind is full, overflowing with information, isn't it? Overload of information. So you are not able to remember everything. So you put everything in the computer. Then you forgot the password also. Isn't it? Or you deleted it unconsciously. Or put, all kind of problems. So this memory which is imprint of the past experience, which is constantly changing, that imprint is called memory or vasanas or samskara. Things have come and gone, but you are still keeping that memory, which is a burden, which is advantage also. Sometimes you are able to predict from the past experience. So sometimes your predictions fall flat because things are constantly changing. So you become wise. When things are the same, you can become wise. Things are constantly changing, you cannot become that wise. That's why there are no wise people in the world today. Because children know better than you and I. Because things are fast changing. Wisdom is a very difficult proposition in the modern world of fast change. In the villages, olden days, things are the same, people are the same, challenges are the same, enemies are the same, territory is the same, everything, you can become a wise man or a medicine man. but not in this modern world. Everything has to be put in the computer or artificial intelligence or AI, whatever it is. Maybe a machine may crunch all this information. Isn't it? So this memory is deposited in the mind. I become increasingly a prisoner of memories. And the memory is like a river. Please understand. Memory is like a river. New streams join the river, and the water is being evaporated by the sun, or it to go underground. The river is a flowing, moving, dancing entity, isn't it? Sometimes it is vast, sometimes it is narrow, sometimes a cascade, sometimes it is lazy. New water is added, old water is exhausted. Memory also is like that. You add new memories, all the memories fade away, but still its subtle impressions remain. Some memories go underground, some memories overground. All of them influence you. All of them will influence you. Even the Big Bang also is left a memory in you. You don't know it. When you are a fish, that memory is there. When you are a crocodile, that memory also is there. We have gone through all these processes. Memory makes you feel solidarity with the entire creation. It's there. The deposits are there. Very difficult to activate maybe. Bring it up to conscious level. But all your behavior is influenced by these humongous memories that you are holding in your mind. This mind, which is a stream of memories. So Patanjali says about this mind, vasana or samskara. This memory is held by some entity. Because memory, to say that, yesterday I was talking to this person, then I slept, I dreamt about him, today I am describing about him to you now. So today, yesterday, and when you are sleeping, 3 events. All the 3 events are held by you. There is an entity, a common entity to connect all this. Isn't it? The common entity is called the self or ashishaha. Patanjali uses the word ashishaha nityatvad. The self is holding that memory. He says, it happened to me yesterday. Today I am talking to you. Tomorrow I may do something else. The time, past, present, and future, all created by memory. If there is no memory, there is no identity. President Reagan, this charismatic president of the United States, when he lost his memory, Alzheimer's, one day his wife wrote a cup of tea very lovingly, honey, here is the tea. Reagan looked at her unbelievingly and said, who are you? Who are you? So he forgot who he was. He forgot who she for 50 years of marriage. The poor lady, she just dropped the cup of tea. So your memory gives you identity. So memory creates the self. Of course, all these are happening in the platform of consciousness, of course. So there is a self, there is memory, and the self and the memory, ashishaha. Ashishaha nityatvad, Patanjali says. Ashishaha nityatvad. The self is continue. The memory keep changing and the new memories are added and all that. So ashishaha nityatvad tesham anaditvam. Tesham means memory. This memory also remain anadi, beginningless. We don't know when it started. Ashishaha nityatvad. This ashisha, this desire or the self and the memory outlives the disintegration of the body. So the Ashisha, the self, as well as the memory, outlives, survives the disintegration of the body. That's why I call it a river of memories. So today you are Mr. So-and-so, Mr. X, or Mr. Y, or Miss Y, or Mrs. Y. That Mr. X, Miss Y leaves a memory in you, and when your body dies, your relationship disintegrates, the self still continues. The memory still continues. Body will disintegrate. It's like your capacity to drive, your driving skill. When you go from Bombay to Delhi, let us say, you don't carry your car, but you carry your driving skill, isn't it? That memory, that skill that you're doing, it's a memory. Ability to drive is a memory. It's a habit that you create. So when you move from Delhi to Bombay or Mumbai to New York, you don't carry your car, but you carry your memory. So this brings the theory of karma. This brings the theory of karma. So from the law of causation, we are coming to law of karma. Law of causation, we are coming to a theory of karma. What does karma say? Whatever you are today, there should be a cause. So whatever you are today is the outcome of whatever you have been doing yesterday, day before yesterday, and the day before that. Because there should be a cause. And what you are today is nothing but a modification of what you did yesterday. So that doesn't take away your agency, because you did it. And you become responsible also. So if you are suffering today, and it's the result of what you did yesterday, whatever choices you made yesterday, take responsibility. When you take responsibility, then you can face the challenge boldly. Otherwise, you are always crying and cringing. That was the reason, he was the reason, my parents was the reason, the system was the reason. So you lose your agency, you become a victim. Isn't it? So whatever I am today, because the river of memory, I am floating down the river of memories. So that is why, according to the karma theory, whatever you are, you had an agency, your responsibility, you are taking it backward and forward. What I shall be tomorrow depends upon what I am doing with whatever I have today. How do I play the deck of cards given to me? Isn't it? So you feel you are on a roller coaster ride. This is only one life you have. You have many more lives. You had many more lives. All that you may not remember, they have gone into your unconscious, deeper level, the causal level, which is not distinct. The causal level is not distinct. So you create a very complex web of memories and understanding, past, present, future, everything comes into this. From this, Patanjali is forced to accept that, and your karmas, Patanjali divides into three types: good, bad, and mixed. Good, bad, and mixed. Sometimes are clearly good deeds, sometimes clearly bad deeds, sometimes mix of good and bad deeds. See, you don't drink, but you drink in a party, good or bad deed. Generally, you don't drink, isn't it? But drink in a party because I'm talking to my clients and he drinks and I have to impress him. So certain deeds are a mix. According to good, bad, and mixed deeds, you create outcomes. And all these actions are limited action. Limited action means limited action will produce limited results. So there is a series of cause and effects like that. Karma, karma bhala, karma, karma bhala. And certain karmas are more gestation period, certain karmas are short-term, fixed deposit, certain karmas are long-term, certain karmas, low interest, high interest, all kind of things are there. So it goes on. So here we come to a situation of understanding oneself, a river of memories held by an agent called the self. And therefore, when I am looking into the abyss of death, I know this is a huge cataract, waterfall, but I will survive. Then there will be a plain ground. I'll go there. So that makes you, that's why Patanjali says, finally, so Krishna, karma shuklam Krishna mishram cha, sobakramam nirubakramam cha, Patanjali. Sobhakarma means which is already start yielding the result. Nirubhakarma which is still in the storage, not yet started giving result. Prarabdha and Sanchita in the Vedantic language. So this karma, this memory flows like this. So you can say karma, memory, vasana, samskara, they all indicate the same thing, though different words are used. And tadaha tad vibhag anugunanam eva abhibhakti vasananam. So depending upon the nature of the karma, they manifest as karma bhala at different periods of time. Certain karma bhalas you may not endure, suffer now, maybe later, maybe after death. Don't say, after death nothing is there. Things are there. But I don't know. You will know it then. Then when it happens, you will reflect back. So this way, Patanjali says, Klesha Mulaha Karmashayaha Drishta Janma Vedaniya. Karmashaya means vasanas. And the source of the vasana is Klesha. Klesha means avidya. Avidya, asmida, ragadvesha, bhinivesha, all these are kleshas. Because of avidyas, you are seeking happiness in the world, isn't it? That is the beginning of all your actions. Because when you happily act, it is not an action, it is not a karma. Only when you seek happiness through karma action that it becomes a karma. Happily, whatever you do, you don't even remember. When you enjoy something, you don't store it as a memory. It is only when you suffer, you make a list of things. I have been sweating and toiling for you, I have been treated like a doormat from morning and evening. I have been working for you, cooking and cleaning, and what have I got? Isn't it? You make a big list of things. But if you are happy, you don't make a list of things. I enjoyed everything. So, tataha Klesha Mulaha Karmashayaha Drishta Janma Vedaniya. As a result of his memory, you get Drishtam and Adrishtam. Drishta means the present, Adrishta means the future. Janma, births are possible. This is a theory of rebirth. All religions talk about birth after death, isn't it? Whether it is Islam, Christian, or Jewish, or Buddhist, or Hindu, everybody talk about birth after death. After you die, or whether you go to heaven or hell or Pitraloka, or you become an ant or a mosquito or an elephant, and all this. That is Hinduism. Christianity and Islam say you will go to hell or heaven permanently. Hinduism say no, you can go to hell or heaven or there is 14 logas, you can go. Or you can become a tree or a mosquito or a crocodile or whatever. Anything you can. So this rebirth gives you an idea of the solidarity of life. With all life forms, I feel related. It's a complex web. I can be anything tomorrow. I can be sitting there. So therefore, take it easy. Tomorrow you are a human being, day after after giving up this body, you can become an animal, you can become a tree, you can become a stone also. Even today you are living like a stone anyway. Isn't it? So, this idea of rebirth is a very interesting idea. Don't look for proof, because you may not remember everything. But the law of karma, which is based on the law of causation, says this is possible. And that will give you good values of life also. I should be careful. I should look beyond my nose. Not just this immediate life. Maybe later. So you become a little more responsible for what you are doing. The responsibility becomes yours. So, sadi mule tad vibhagaha jadi ayurbhogaha Patanjali. Because it's mula. Mula can mean avidya and vasanas, memories. Therefore, you have jadi, new birth, ayu, life, and bhogaha, and all your experiences. All this because of the memories, the vasanas, the ashisha, you remain. And what are these experiences? Te hrada paridaba bhalaha punya punya hetu. Because of the good and bad and mixed deeds, the result also good, bad and mixed. Sometimes pleasant, sometimes unpleasant, sometimes in between. When you have a couple of drinks, pleasant or unpleasant. To me it is unpleasant, for you it is pleasant. Initially for you also it was unpleasant. All kind of experiences, pleasant and unpleasant experiences comes to you. And this is even for a yogi who is in a state of asamprajnata samadhi, for him also or her also, there is rebirth. Why there is rebirth? Patanjali says, because virama pratyaya abhyasa samskara sheshaha, still rudimentary samskaras remain there. He is not completely overcome. That will happen only when nirbija samadhi, where I totally understood what it is all about. When you realize my nature is Purusha or Brahman. Till such time, the seeds can remain. So don't take it easy. You have miles to go before you can repose, relax. So we believe in the theory of causation, we believe in the theory of mind, we believe in memories, we believe. This belief is based on reason, not simply believing it. Based on reason you are predicting. And because of the prediction you are prescribing certain values for life. Isn't it? So therefore, I have to practice certain values so that not only this life, future life also is made a pleasant experience. So Patanjali believes in the rebirth and theory of causation and stream of memories. So think about it, be a little more responsible, take responsibility, practice the values, yoga, so that you not only secure life now in this body, you also secure life in the future lives also. So you can create a celebratory environment for you and your people around. And you create a caring, sharing ecosystem. That's your responsibility. So let us take up responsibility. And let's not play the victimhood anymore. And for your happiness, you are responsible. That's the message given by Patanjali. Thank you very much. So next talk will be, these are things to be lifelong reflection is necessary, please. 1 hour lecture is not enough. Lifelong reflection is necessary to penetrate into different layers of truth, different layers of existence. What meets your eye is not the truth. There is something behind it. These are all a shadow play. There's something behind. So this Patanjali Yoga Sutra you have to reflect throughout your life, not one time. And alone can be understood. So next talk will be the yogi's powers. What are the powers that the yogi acquire? And what are the perils of the powers? When you practice yoga, what are the powers? These are some 35, 38 descriptions are seen in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Yogi, what do you get by practice of yoga? Which we will see next class, next Saturday, same time. Thank you very much.